When a festival in America ends, the stage lights go out, the music stops, and tens of thousands of people leave. But behind all that cheering, there is still one thing no one wants to look back at. It is the rows of portable toilets that have been serving people all day under the sun, dust, spilled beer, and endless lines. And the people who have to come back and deal with them are not ordinary janitors. They are called Porta Potty Cleaners, or more accurately, portable restroom service technicians. Every day, they drive waste vacuum trucks to construction sites, fairs, stadiums, and outdoor festivals. Their job is to open each door, pump out the holding tank, spray down the inside, deodorize it, then restock toilet paper and hand sanitizer. And that is only the beginning of the story. Many people think a porta potty cleaner is just someone holding a hose and washing toilets. But in reality, this job is far more complicated than that. They are not just cleaners, they are drivers, technicians, safety workers, and outdoor problem solvers. Every day, they have to drive specialized trucks equipped with a large tank and a vacuum system. This truck is not like a regular garbage truck, because it is built to remove liquid waste from portable toilets. When they arrive at a construction site or an event, they have to inspect each toilet carefully. They must record which toilets are full, which ones are clogged, which ones are out of paper, and which ones have broken door locks. After that, they use a large suction hose to pull the waste into the truck's tank. Then comes spraying down the inside, deodorizing it, restocking toilet paper, refilling hand sanitizer, and adding specialized cleaning solution. It sounds simple, but one small mistake can make waste overflow, clog the hose, or spread the smell across the entire area. That is why this is not a job for someone who works carelessly. A good porta potty cleaner has to be fast, strong, careful, punctual, and able to handle a kind of pressure very few people want to face. A porta potty cleaner's day often begins very early, while many people are still asleep. They arrive at the company yard, where the waste vacuum trucks have been parked since the night before. Before leaving, they have to inspect the truck, the tank, the suction hose, the spray nozzle, their gloves, safety glasses, and the amount of clean water on board. If even one small item is missing, the entire route for the day can be delayed. Then they receive the list of locations they need to service that day. It could be a construction site, a fairground, a stadium, or an outdoor festival. Every stop has a different number of toilets, different conditions, and a different level of discomfort. Once the truck starts rolling, the real work begins. They have to drive a large vehicle through busy roads, residential neighborhoods, muddy lots, or narrow construction site entrances. When they arrive, they cannot just park anywhere, because the hose has to be close enough to reach the toilet while still keeping people around them safe. After that, they open each toilet door, do a quick inspection, and begin servicing it according to procedure. Day after day, they move from one stop to the next until the entire route is finished. When they arrive at a service location, the first thing a porta potty cleaner does is choose the exact right place to park. The truck has to be close enough for the suction hose to reach the toilet, but it must not block pedestrians or construction vehicles. Then they set up warning signs or safety cones around the work area. Before opening the toilet door, they usually look at the outside to check for damage, tilting, tipping, or vandalism. Next, they open the door carefully and quickly check the condition inside. If the holding tank is full, they place the large suction hose in the correct position and turn on the truck's vacuum system. The waste is pulled from the toilet tank into a sealed tank at the back of the service truck. This step has to be done slowly and firmly, because if the hose shifts or the pressure is unstable, a problem can happen immediately. After the tank is emptied, they use a pressure sprayer to wash the surfaces inside the toilet. They clean the seat, floor, walls, door handle, and the areas users touch most often. Then they add deodorizing solution and specialized cleaning chemicals into the holding tank. The goal is not only to make the toilet look cleaner, but also to control the smell for many hours afterward. Once the cleaning is finished, they restock toilet paper, refill hand sanitizer, and check the door lock again. Finally, they close the door, record the toilet's condition, and move on to the next one. One toilet may take only a few minutes, but after a major festival, that number can multiply into hundreds. When people hear the words porta potty cleaner, many assume the worst part must be the smell. And yes, the smell can be extremely strong, especially on hot summer days in the United States. But for people in the industry, the smell is not always the scariest part. The more unpleasant part is that they never know what they will find behind each door. Some toilets have been used far beyond capacity after a crowded festival. Some are out of paper, clogged, tilted, or vandalized by someone. Sometimes, the holding tank contains strange objects like plastic bottles, clothing, hard trash, or sharp items. Those things can clog the suction hose, damage equipment, or make the job far more dangerous. On top of that, they have to work under blazing sun, heavy rain, mud, and odors rising from every direction. If a toilet has been knocked over by strong wind or after a chaotic event, the cleanup becomes much more complicated. So the most disgusting part of this job is not just the waste. It is the unpredictability, the time pressure, and the need to stay calm in situations most of us would want to run away from. From the outside, many people think this job only requires someone who can tolerate dirt. But in reality, a porta potty cleaner needs far more skills than people imagine. First, they need good physical strength, because every day they have to pull heavy suction hoses, carry tools, climb in and out of the truck, and work non-stop outdoors. In the summer, high temperatures can make the job many times more exhausting. They also need to know how to drive a large vehicle safely, especially through narrow construction sites, muddy lots, or crowded event areas. Parking in the wrong spot can slow down the entire pumping and cleaning process. Beyond physical strength, they also need attention to detail. A toilet may be out of paper, have a broken lock, a clogged tank, or be placed at an angle without the customer even knowing it. If the technician overlooks a small detail, the next user will be the one who suffers the consequence. They also have to stay calm, because not every stop is easy to handle. Some days everything goes smoothly, but other days the truck gets stuck, the suction hose has problems, or the whole route falls behind schedule. That is why this is not just a job about tolerating bad smells, but a job that requires endurance, technical skill, discipline, and a very cool head. When people hear about cleaning portable toilets, many assume it must be a low-paying job. But the truth about money in this profession is more complicated than that. In the United States, a porta potty cleaner's pay depends on the state, the company, experience, driver's license, and the type of truck they operate. Someone new to the job may start with an hourly wage that is not very high. But if they can drive a large service truck, follow their route efficiently, and handle problems well, their income can increase over time. Some companies also pay extra for difficult routes, weekend shifts, or major events. However, the most attractive part of this work is not only the paycheck. It is the chance to turn a dirty job into a stable business model. If someone owns a waste vacuum truck, has their own customers, and signs contracts with construction sites or festivals, the amount of money they can make can be completely different. Of course, becoming an owner is not easy. You have to invest in trucks, maintain equipment, hire employees, deal with permits, and always keep the service on schedule. So this is not a get-rich-quick path. But for someone hardworking, disciplined, and unafraid of a job with a strong smell, being a porta potty cleaner can become a doorway into a very practical business. To become a porta potty cleaner in the United States, you do not necessarily need a high-level degree. But that does not mean anyone can just jump into the truck and start working right away. The first requirement is usually a valid driver's license and a clean driving record. The reason is simple, because most of their time is spent driving a service truck from one location to another. For smaller vehicles, some companies may only require a regular driver's license. But if they operate larger trucks with heavier tanks, the driver may need a CDL, which stands for Commercial Driver's License. A CDL helps prove that the driver is capable of safely operating a larger, heavier vehicle with more responsibility on the road. Besides the license, they also have to learn how to use suction hoses, pumps, pressure sprayers, and cleaning chemicals safely. They also need to know protective procedures, such as wearing thick gloves, safety glasses, and maintaining hygiene after each shift. Many newcomers are trained directly by experienced employees. They learn everything from the smallest tasks, like parking in the right position and checking door locks, to dealing with problems when the suction hose gets clogged. So the barrier to entry may not be very high, but doing this job well and staying in it long-term requires discipline, health, and seriousness. If one day there were no one left to clean portable toilets, many places in the United States would run into trouble immediately. Construction sites would struggle to operate cleanly, because workers need restrooms right where they work. Music festivals, fairs, marathons, and outdoor events would also become chaotic. If clean toilets are unavailable for just a few hours, the experience of thousands of people can be ruined. Porta potty cleaners are the people who keep those events running normally. They show up before the crowds arrive, and they often return after everyone has gone home. Their work is so quiet that when it is done well, almost no one notices. But if they do not do it, the bad smell, waste, and discomfort appear very quickly. During natural disasters, relief areas, or places without permanent restrooms, their role becomes even more important. They help provide people with one of the most basic human needs, a safe and clean place to use the restroom. So this is not just a cleaning job, but part of the public sanitation system. They may not receive applause, but society runs much more smoothly because of people like them. Being a porta potty cleaner may not be the job many people dream of when they are children. It does not come with a fancy office, bright stage lights, or frequent words of thanks. But behind every clean construction site, every successful festival, and every outdoor event that does not turn into a sanitation disaster, there is a trace of their work. They do the kind of work most of us would rather avoid. They arrive early, leave late, and keep crowded places functioning normally. This job is dirty, heavy, exhausting, and sometimes extremely unpleasant. But it also reminds us that some quiet jobs are far more important than they appear on the surface. Because without people like them, everything around us could start to smell much faster than we think.